Hello and welcome back. And in this video, we're going to be covering one more example about GeometryReader. Now, before we start talking, let's go ahead and move this example as well into the commented area, so you have everything documented. So this one is example 5, I believe. Let's see. Yeah, example 5. Okay, perfect. So let's go ahead and set this everything straight here so Xcode doesn't complain. And let's go ahead and talk about GeometryReader and its performance. So GeometryReader, as you can see, is a powerful tool in SwiftUI. It offers enhanced control over layout. We saw over many examples how it actually can help us define some custom layouts. It facilitates responsive design that adapts to various device sizes and orientations. However, we should always keep the UI performance in mind while using GeometryReader. For instance, GeometryReader triggers a complete layout refresh whenever its parent view is updated. Since it relies on layout changes, it can sometimes cause unnecessary re-rendering even when the view size is not changing and it remains unchanged. Now, this can negatively impact the smoothness of the animation or overall UI responsiveness. So for that reason, it is advisable that you use GeometryReader only when it is absolutely necessary and when you want to avoid basically some manual calculations. Okay, so make sure that use GeometryReader only when necessary and avoid nesting multiple GeometryReader instances. Okay, with all those in mind, let's take a look at the last example where we will utilize GeometryReader with preference keys to propagate the size change to the top level of the view. We will use preference key to measure the size of the view where a custom modifier is applied and displays the size of that view in another view which is outside of the view's hierarchy. Okay, so we're gonna start, and we will start by creating some new things here. So first we're gonna create a new struct and we're gonna call this size preference key. Okay, this is going to conform to the preference key protocol, and we're gonna have the default value, which is gonna be CG size type, and since we are defining the type alias here, we're gonna just leave it as value, and then we're gonna set that value as 0. Now we're gonna write the only function that is required by this preference key. It's called reduce, and reduce gives us access to value which is in out type of CG size type, which is the value type here, and the next value itself. And what we do is we just take that value and apply the next value basically into that value. Okay, whatever the value is being returned, and because this is in out type, the whatever you are setting here is going to be reflected wherever this preference key is called. Okay, so this is all we need to do to set the preference key. Now we're going to create another struct called measuring size modifier. Not mortgage, modifier. There you go. And this is going to be a view modifier, and we're going to call this view modifier wherever we want to measure a certain view. So that's why we are actually calling it this way, and we are going to set the body for this. So any view modifier, custom view modifier you create, you have to define the body function, and that's what we are doing here. We get the content, and then we get to apply various kind of modifiers to it. So we're gonna apply a background. Inside the background, we're gonna create our GeometryReader, which is going to give us access to the geometry proxy. First, we're gonna set color to clear. We don't want this background to be visible, so we're just gonna set the color to clear, and then we're gonna set the preference. The preference that we're gonna set for the using the preference key value that we have actually we have just set is going to be for the key size preference key dot self and whatever the proxy size is. So this is going to, what this is going to do is whatever that proxy size is, it's going to be reflected inside this value, and then we'd be able to just use this value anywhere we need to. So you can see that this is the only place where we are using the geometry reader, and this is like, going to be used whenever this modifier is called. Now, to make it convenient for us to call this view modifier, we're going to create an extension overview, and we're going to basically create this measure size, which is going to call this measuring view modifier. Okay, now what we want to do is we also want to make sure that whenever the preference key changes, we call on preference key. Now that actually performs an action, so we need to make our measure, this helper function measure size, basically take a action which is going to be at escaping type, so escaping, and it is going to be a closure accepting CG size value and returning void. Okay, and this will return some view. Now what we're gonna do here, whenever the preference changes, right, we wanna perform, first of all we wanna basically set the type on which the preference is going to change, which preference key is changing, and perform the action that's been called here. So whatever the action that you want to take, you actually call that inside this on the preference change. Okay, now our modifier, our custom modifier is ready. Okay, and now we're ready to utilize this. So in order to utilize this, what we're going to do is we're going to first create a two state properties. First one is going to be called view size. This is going to be a CG size type, and CG size with width and height of width of 200, height of 50. Okay, now I'm going to copy this one and create the next property, which is going to be the last size. Okay, these are two state properties that we will create here. Now inside the body, we're going to create a v-stack. Inside the v-stack, we're going to create a z-stack, set the alignment. Alignment is going to be bottom trailing. For the content, we're going to have a text. Okay, this text view will say this view knows its own size. Okay, and we're going to set the frame for this guy. For the width, we're going to say it's going to be view size dot width. For the height, it's going to be view size dot height. For the background, we're simply going to set the color dot yellow, and let's go ahead and clip shape. Corner radius 10 points to make it rounded corner, and we're going to call our measure size. We're going to perform basically size operations, so we get like size, and whatever we get the size value, we set that to the view size. So whenever the measure size is called, basically we get the size for the geometry reader. Okay, because it's applied on this text view, so we get actually the size of this text view right here, and we apply that into the view size. That way we keep track of the change. Okay, now rest of the things that we are doing here is basically first let's go ahead and print this value, display the display the value of this text view. So as you can see, this text view is inside the Z stack. Okay, so we're gonna go outside this view hierarchy, Z stack, the container, and we're gonna create a text here, and this is going to display the width. Okay, and the width is going to be integer, and inside the integer we're gonna just like put view size dot width, and for the height we're gonna say int view size dot height. Okay, so we get the height. Okay, so now you can see that our text is basically 200 for the width and 50 as a height. Now you already know that we are already setting this here, so we're just reading that value back. There's nothing amazing or crazy about it. Well, crazy part is gonna come in next. Let's set the overlay here. Okay, and I want to set the alignment first. Alignment for the overlay as bottom trailing. Okay, and for the closure of this guy, I'm going to create an image system name. This is going to be square dot resize. Okay, and there is no fill. Resize. There we go. Okay, there's no fill in here. We want to make it resizable, and we also want to apply the rotation effect, degrees 90, so it actually rotates. There we go. Okay, and now we want to set the foreground style as color dot yellow. Let's set the background color dot white dot gradient. And then we're going to set the offset. Offset is going to be x5, y5. Okay, there's one thing that that I forgot. I need to set a frame width and height, and that is going to be 20 and 20. There we go. All right, so we have this nice looking resize button. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to apply gesture here. So gesture, and we're going to apply drag gesture. Okay, and as you all know, drag gesture has on change, which gives us the gesture value, and we can use that gesture value. So we're gonna say new width. Now new width is gonna be, let's set the maximum. Okay, so I'm gonna say 100, or last size dot width, and we're gonna times that with gesture dot translation dot width, whatever gesture has traveled to get that new location. New height is gonna be max of 40. Okay, max either 40 or last size height and translation dot height. Okay, now when the gesture ends, at that point what we want to do is we want to set the last size is equal to the view size. All right, so that is all we need to do. Let's go ahead and try this out. So let's see. All right, looks like gesture is not working. Okay, the reason is we're calculating the new width and new height, but we are not doing anything with that. So it needs to be used for a view size. So CG size, width, and height. So new width and new height. There we go. Okay, hopefully it'll work this time. Whoa, that was... All right, let's see what else we are doing wrong here. Aha, okay, so times is too much. Okay, it needs to be addition. We want to add, however we are translating, because times is basically multiplying that. So there we go. So now you can see that our view can move, we can resize it, and your other view, which is located outside, is reading that value. Okay, and the best part is this is the only place you're using GeometryReader. Now imagine if you're like, drawing it or like using it right at this point right here, GeometryReader. That means every time when you're moving this, you're not only re-rendering this part, but you're re-rendering this part, which is quite unnecessary. Okay, so this was basically an example I wanted to show you that there are ways to achieve basically the same level of functionality using some of the other features that are available in SwiftUI, for example, preference key, and combine it with GeometryReader to make your views quite efficient. Okay, all right. With that, we have reached the end of the series where we learned a great detail about geometry readers. So once again, thank you for watching, and don't forget to visit www.devtechie.com for more content like this. Okay, so once again, this is devtechie.com, and I'll see you guys in another course. Thank you.